Hey everyone, I'm Eric Franklin with your Garrison Public Affairs. This week, we're on location at Belton Lake Outdoor Recreational Area to learn all about nature and life. All that and more on this week's Great Big Podcast. This is your first stop as you enter into Belora, where you're greeted by Santa's helpers. You pay a small fee, and then you get on the road and see everything that has to offer here at Nature and Lights.
The 28th Annual Holiday Spectacular, Nature and Lights, turns Belton Lake Outdoor Recreational Area into a winter wonderland for all those who call the great place home and those visiting Central Texas. The Holiday Light Trail is open to the public nightly now through December 31st from 5:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. Visitors can drive through the more than 800-acre park nightly and enjoy 5.5 miles of illuminated displays. Many computer animated, ranging in size from strands of lights artfully configured to scenes ranging from the Nativity scene, 12 Days of Christmas, and other holiday-themed displays, as well as architectural and foliage lighting. Visitors can stop first at Belora Ranch to ride a pony in an illuminated area from December 13th to December 24th from 5:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. Travel to Santa's Village, located at the park's enclosed and heated live oak pavilion. Shop for gifts, take photographs of Santa, and partake in cookies, hot chocolate, and other treats. The last stop on the trail is Santa's Depot, located near the end of the Trail of Lights at Belora's Marina Cove parking lot, where guests can enjoy concessions under the stars, shop for glow-in-the-dark toys, hop aboard the train for a ride through an exclusive Trail of Lights, or just stretch their legs on the playground before they ride home. Santa's Village and Santa's Depot are open nightly from December 13th through December 24th during the trail's open hours. To see the lower portion of the trail lights via the walking tour, come visit the lights during Soul Night, January 4th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. The cost of Soul Night is $10 per person, with children under 12 free. Don't miss your chance to ring in the holidays and take part in the 28th Annual Nature and Lights.
Now that we had an opportunity to check it out, let's head back to the studio so we can learn all about the amazing history of Nature and Lights. Hey, I'm back in the studio, getting warm. It's a little chilly out there. I'm joined in the studio now with Carl, and tell me a little bit about what you do out there.
My name is Carl Washko. I'm the admin manager out of Belora. So we do things out of Belora that includes renting kayaks, renting RV sites, tent camping, cottage camping as well. We also have family reunions that hand out there, and we also have our Christmas lights. And I was glad that you all came out and saw it tonight.
And so, how long have you been with DFMWR?
I've been with them for going on 16 years.
Okay, and so you've kind of seen it grow over the past 16 years.
Yes, it has. It's grown a lot. There's a lot more people coming out to it. The train ride is especially something that we're doing. Pony rides as well. That wasn't originally there. That's been added over the years. Same thing with the train as well. And then Santa's Village has expanded and different things. And we do rotate lights too, so it's different themes every year. But certain things like the nativity scene or the 12 Days of Christmas, that's normally always up. We just move things around and add different lights each year. We don't try to keep it the same.
Didn't tell you this earlier, but I'm actually from Killeen. I was born on Fort Hood, then when it was Fort Hood, and I lived in Killeen most of my life. And I think 1996, 28 years, so 1996, 97, somewhere around in there, when it started, I talked to my brother, because he's our family historian. He knows everything. It's like, yeah, we used to go out there all the time. Our grandfather had a pickup truck, and he was like, yeah, we used to sit in the back of it. Those are the type of things that I think having those opportunities to build those traditions, and I think for me, that's one of the biggest traditions. I'm going to take my kids probably right after Christmas, because that's when they like to go, or right before Christmas. But just seeing it grow and just seeing it, how is it for you just to be able to see everything that's going on with it?
It's good. I think it's really good for MWR. It's good for the community. It brings families together. I mean, it's Christmas, the Christmas themed lights. We have people, I do know a family that does come from Louisiana every year.
Wow.
They try to come in, especially when we're offering the bulbs that we give out.
Yes, the ornaments, yeah.
They definitely always make sure they come in time to get one. So they come every year, and again, they're coming all the way from Louisiana, and it's become like a family tradition for them. So it's a great thing for families. Even when I was here visiting my uncle before I moved here, I've been to the lights before too. So
for you, what is your favorite light display?
So my favorite light display, and it's probably, I don't know if it's up this year, but it was the Budweiser one.
Yes, it is. We saw it.
Okay.
With the Clydesdales.
Yes, that's the one I like. I've always liked that one, and one year we actually had a couple Clydesdales out there from Budweiser. So,
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So we do have, different things we try to do, so.
Okay. And so it's 5 miles long. There's 150 displays. If you had to guess, you don't have to be accurate. If you had to guess, what would the number of lights be on each of those? If you had to guess, give me a wild number.
Probably 1,000 on each one or more.
1,000?
It's probably more. It's because they're animated, so they have different lights that move, and there's lights like every few inches. There's a lot.
Yeah.
So there's quite a bit. I don't know the exact, and depending on which one it is, you got the smaller displays all the way up to the big, massive 300-foot one. I mean, there could be a lot.
My favorite one. What made me think about it? And we saw one. It was an Abrams tank, and it was firing, and it was hitting a target. And I was just like, man, that seems like a lot of lights. And so it's just like, it was one of those things. It's like, man, how long does it take you guys to set that up and do maintenance on them?
So just to set them up, we start in July normally. Depending on the situation, depending on weather or anything in that. But it takes us a very long time because, one, we have to set them up. We have to make sure the lights are all working. They're animated, so we have to make sure the animations are working correctly. We got to make sure they're safe. They don't fall over in the weather.
Yeah.
And then all electrical, and then going through safety to make sure everything is the way it should be safe, so we don't get any accidents or anything in that nature that happens out there. So it does take us quite a while.
I was sitting there thinking, it was like, it probably takes them 2 months. No. But it's a process. It's so clearly. Yes. Okay, clearly. And so for you, when do you start, when does the plan start? You start setting up in July. When do you start planning for the displays? Is it something that starts like in January, or
it starts basically while we're doing Nature and Lights that year? Well, for the next year, we're already... they're coming up with either new lights or what we're going to do for the next year or what we need to refurbish. It's a year-long thing that we do. Okay.
So just real quick, just 2 more quick questions for you. What would you tell a family that's never been here, that may be new to the installation, and they're just looking for something that's close, fun? What would you tell them about Nature and Lights?
It would be, I would definitely would take my family to it if I was in the area. It's something that we really take pride in, and again, it's for the community. It's for the soldiers and the retirees and even the civilians that are out here, for the whole communities. And that's the major selling point for it, is community.
Well, guys, that's all for this part. Make sure you get out to Nature and Lights before December 31st.
I'm Sally Davis, your Army Community Service Army Family Team Building AFTB Coordinator. I know that is a long title. Just remember, your Army Family Team Building Coordinator. And I have some awesome news. We are offering AFTB classes to soldiers and families, and I can do classes at the unit, virtual, desk side, individual, small, and large groups. You're probably asking yourself, why would I want to take an Army Family Team Building class? There are 3 levels, and they're easy to remember. We have level K, G, and L. Level K is for military knowledge, learning the Army language. Spouses do not get 6 weeks of training like their soldier. Your spouse comes home talking about their day and using acronyms and terms. We have a class for that. We also offer a class for your benefits and entitlements for your family. AFTB offers so much to include making a friend in class. Our next level is level G, personal growth and resiliency. Talk about families and their personalities. One of our successful classes is growing through change, not going through change. Another great class is winning at time management. I know some of you have probably been through time management classes. We all have 1,440 minutes in a day to do what we need to do, choose to do, want to do, and end up doing. Our next level is examining your leadership style. You are a leader in your family, either through mentoring or coaching. You have your own style and want to build a strong family team. Come and learn how to be a great communicator and resolve challenges with a win-win goals for your family. There is so much more to learn taking AFTB classes. You can check out our classes on www.armyfamily.webportal.com, or you can call me at 254-287-1127. Thank you and have a great day.
And welcome back to today's episode of the Great Big Podcast. I'm Eric Rodriguez with your Fort Cavazos Garrison Public Affairs Office, and I'm hanging out with...
The other Eric. What's going on, everybody?
So, Eric, I heard a funny story that sometime this weekend, you were surrounded by all these bright lights and you thought it was aliens.
I did. I did. I didn't see. I'm surprised that they didn't have one that was like a UFO, since I think that would have been cool. But they did have a Abrams that was shooting a target. It was kind of high angle, but it was still.
So wait,
cool.
you weren't out in the middle of a cornfield. You were where?
I was out at Belton Lake Outdoor Recreational Area, better known as Bloor.
Checking out the nature and lights.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I think the first time I drove out there was '98. That was yes, that was the first time I drove out there by myself. Love it, I loved it, and I've been going every couple of years now. If I'm stationed, when I was stationed here, I would go, but yeah, I loved it. It was fun. It's one of those things that I think it's something you can bring the kids to, and you can turn on to the radio. I think it was 97.5 on the FM dial, and you could listen to music the whole way through. So it was really, really fun.
Yeah, they do play all those Christmas classics. I wonder how many folks listening actually still know how to use a regular radio.
This is true.
Outside of when you went to Nature and Lights, when was the last time you listened to an FM station? It's been a while, right?
Actually, the last time I listened to a FM radio station was when I was in Germany. That was the last time.
That's fair. I'll give you that.
Because they had, it was okay music, but that was the last. They had AFN. But yeah, and then it's so funny because over there, all the channels are on the odd. It's weird. It's like it's still like 92.3 for us. It would be like 93.5 over. It was something weird. But anyway, yeah, that was the last time. But in my Tahoe, I think the last time I've turned on the FM channels, I think it's still set to the factory presets, to be honest. I'm going to check.
It's definitely, I know for a factory preset in my car.
Yeah.
I've always got some kind of app or satellite radio going on.
Yeah.
So I know this past weekend, we got to watch the holiday tree lighting here on Post, which is always an awesome event.
Yeah.
Always we got kids this year coming in. They sang Christmas carols and stuff. And all the families were hanging around. Everybody got to see the red, white, and blue light up. So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
What are you getting into this weekend?
This weekend, I don't think I'm really getting into anything because I have leave next week, whatever the week of the 23rd is. That week of Christmas, I'm taking leave, so I'll be gone until the end of the year, so next year. So I'm glad. As soon as we do the last paper and the last podcast of the year, that's it. I'm out. I'm gone.
Time for the dad jokes for see you next year, huh?
Yeah. The tired ones. See you next year, kids.
Yeah.
It's like, what? But no, that's about it. I don't really know. That's all I really have planned. Just try to stay warm. Try to stay dry. That's about it. What about you?
Well, the last weekend after the holiday tree lighting and stuff, I got to go out and do some hunting, so I got to do some of that. Got lucky, and I'm going to try to go out and do some more of that this weekend before I take the kids out to Bloor to check out the Christmas lights. So
cool.
That's my plan until the end of the season. Try to fill the freezer, like I know a lot of soldiers out here on the post. Yeah. They're all doing the same thing. So it's tough competition out there right now.
Yeah. All right, well, that's all that we have for this week's episode. We look forward to seeing you guys next time on the Great Big Podcast.
Take care, y'all.